Today's discussion is what's the difference between demon time and God's plan, today's culture, and how does it apply to recovery. This is Saul. He's our guest today. He's here to give us a little description and relate to the topic at hand. But before that, I'm just going to give you a little rundown on how it relates to my life. When I was an adolescent, I was happy, I was outgoing, I was looking forward to life. As a result of my demographics, my family issues, bullying, and pressure, I took a left turn in life and went into drug addiction, crime, robbery. That was my transition from God's plan. Now, in description, God's plan includes guidance for individuals directing their paths and decisions. The Bible encourages believers to trust that God's plan is perfect. Even when it's not fully understood, it's perfect. Now, the transition I had from God's plan to demon time, it was something that wasn't recognizable. It was more influence. Now, to understand demon time, you have to understand that one of the underlying questions surrounding demon time meeting is the balance between freedom and the potential consequence of one's actions. While it embodies liberation, it can lead to decisions that might haunt individuals later. This paradox raises decisions about personal accountability in moments of uninhabitable behavior. At one point in my life, my drug use got appallable. Got to the point my life became unmanageable. PCP was my DOC. And it brought the demon out of me. You know what I mean? That was my transition at an early age. That brought me into where I'm at now, you know what I mean? But to elaborate more on my life, I don't want to touch too much base on it. So I'm going to turn the attention over to Saul. He's going to give a little description, letting you know who he is, his purpose, and go from there.
This is a great topic, Derek. I'm glad that we're even shining light upon this. A lot of times we definitely need to understand the difference between demon time and God's plan. I can relate to certain situations, especially when I was dealing with my drug addiction. My drug DLC was methamphetamine, alcohol, pills, marijuana. Yeah, I tried PCP before. It definitely wasn't my cup of tea. But I can see why it was certain situations where you turn into a demon. As me, methamphetamine staying up too long, I was able to tap into another dimension. We talked about this before.
It's a psychosis.
Yeah, the psychosis part of it. You definitely, when people say, they see shadow people and they start hearing voices and things like that, this is real. I experienced it myself. Just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, not only that, but just really acting off of impulse. Very, almost borderline schizophrenic. For me, definitely, methamphetamine was a drug that I fell in love with. Being that I felt like I was empowered, like I was in power, like I was in control of everything. And that was the delusion. It was just that I felt like, hey man, that I can control anything, I can hustle all day, I was good with the ladies, all this different type of stuff. The devil offered that to me. Got to the point where when you say functioning addict,
are you really functioning?
Yeah, are you really functioning? But at the point in time, that's what I thought I was doing. You know what I mean? And the things that I seen, the people that I was around, the odd behaviors, everybody was stealing, lying, manipulating. You know what I mean? They were taking, and it was hard to really transition away from that lifestyle because
it was more influence.
Yeah, it was the influence, the demon time. You know what I'm saying? And the way my definition of demon time is sowing to the flesh. What you feel like, what feels good? What feels good to me? You know what I'm saying? Getting high, fornicating, you know what I'm saying? Stealing, lying, manipulating, doing the seven sins. Being a part of that, having that a part of your life, sowing to the flesh constantly was taken away from who I was and who I was supposed to be. You know what I mean? So I can relate to that. wholeheartedly relate to that. There's so many different stories that we'll share later on in
You
the
know what's
podcast.
crazy?
Yeah.
I see more nowadays examples of demon time in today's culture, and it's not just nighttime. It's not just times of social media. Like, it's become a culture. You know what I mean? People have not. I think it's more of losing faith and just relying on ego, self-centeredness.
Self-centeredness. Yeah.
So I think it's dominant now more than ever, or actually more visible.
Yeah.
Now you realize the shit.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you realize it now, just think if you did back then.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna help the matter. All it's gonna do is be worse now.
Worse. Yeah.
So I think looking at it in layman's terms, you just gotta look at how would you alleviate that problem. What would you do, or how could you turn that switch off? I think first you gotta realize what makes you get from A to B. You know what I mean? Music,
Yeah.
outside influence, friends. I don't know.
What you see, what you hear, how you speak,
What you
your
touch.
perceptions, your
What you
life.
touch.
You know what I'm
Everything.
saying? That has a lot to do with it. You know, that's why you have to always filter what you put in. You know what I mean? If you put in negativity is gonna build up and negativity is gonna come out. You know what I mean? You're gonna operate in that low frequency. But when you're on a high frequency, when you're able to develop the skills and get the tools that you need to add to your upbringing and growth and spiritual growth, you're able to see life on different terms. You're able to accept life on its terms, on its own terms, and be able to go on from there. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, life is going to keep life. We still got to continue to be sober. Life gets hard. So you're accepting life on life's terms and understand that life is not going to change regardless of how you look at it. It's going to still be hard. So what are you going to do about it, right? So when you activate your faith, the faith that you have within you, the belief that you have, you know, some people say I believe in a higher power, I believe in God. God is my problem solver. So I'm able to give it to God, and I'm able to say, hey, you know what? I'm my addict. I'm giving this to you, God. I need to carry the deflaws that I have, the shortcomings that I have. I'm giving this to you, Lord. Help me work with the short of me, the bad, the other side.
You gotta also understand that for those of you that don't, I guess, identify with the God as you know it,
Or higher power.
whoever you are identify with, your higher power. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But I don't know, I just look at it like, if you can understand the breaking point and understand what happens and how to diffuse it before it happens, it'll make for a very beautiful outcome. Because I don't know, I just see more of hate, destruction, racial profiling. It's just getting worse, you know what I mean? And some people don't even blind to this shit. Blind to the. But I don't know.
Your spiritual lens, it all depends on what your spiritual lens to, you know. A lot of times we got dust and we got dirt on our spiritual lens. A lot of us don't even know how to look at it, open our eyes. You know, you ever heard the terminology, blind leading the blind. You have people that follow, people that put themselves in leadership and an authority figure, and they don't even know the route to go. You know what I'm saying? Their life is not aligning with the universe and lining up with God. So you got a lot of times we got the blind leading the blind, and
that started from a high place.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So-
So like you can't even go to the high up.
Yeah, and so you got somebody that's leading you that is on demon time, and guess what time you are on?
Same time.
Same time.
And you don't have to have the same mindset. You're influenced by the outside entities. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's crazy because all it takes is one person. It takes a thought. It takes a thought, turn into action.
Definitely.
But it's like people don't see hope. You know, it's destructive out there.
Well, you got stress, you got depression, that fits
Drugs.
in, anxiety, stress, all that fits in. Suicidal thoughts, all those come in. That's demonic. That's demonic play on your life. The way you think, you know, when your mental, the way your mental faculties think, the way you perceive things, it's such a detrimental situation for a lot of people, because a lot of people that come in treatment nowadays are suicidal. They deal with a lot of depression. And the reason why is because of the traumatic experiences they experienced in their life and the demonic plague. And so they are being captivated, they are being enslaved, and they're by an enslaved mentality. So the way they operate is in an enslaved mindset. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, when you see a person like that, the only thing you can do is say, you know what, you need therapy. You need to go see some help. You know what I'm saying? A therapeutic situation. A lot of times prayer will help. Meditation. Things to say, hey, you know what, look, is everything going to be all right? But listen, we got to get to the root of the problem. You know what I mean? A lot of times people don't understand. Well, drugs come into play, alcohol come into play. That's just part of the problem. Okay? And what we learn about when we in these treatment centers and in rehabilitational places like that is, what about me? What is the problem with me? What am I doing? Why does this keep happening to me? How come I keep going in this complete circle? Why can't I get it right? How come I'm always falling on my face? Insanity. And you try so many different ways, from so many different angles, and you're thinking like, hey, I'm gonna get around it this time. I'm gonna make it this time. And then what happened? Fall on your face, right? And that's because that's complete insanity. To think that it's gonna be different. 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. It's not gonna change. So therefore, you understand you have to find your formula, and your formula that will work for you in sobriety, in this life, in this world. You got to find a formula that's going to work for you. And the only way that's going to work is you getting with the plan that God has set for you. You got to find and discover your purpose within whom you are, and therefore, the challenges that happens, they're going to be coming. Instead of that, you'll be able to find a technique in order to be able to operate through the obstacle and purpose.
It was my problem.
Yes.
When I was younger, I always thought I could do it different and better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I never put myself in a humbling state. Mm-hmm. You telling me, you can't tell me nothing. You know what I mean?
And what's humbling mean to you? What's the definition of humbling to you?
Humbling is just keeping your mouth shut.
What about being teachable?
But that's keeping your mouth shut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Well, then again, it's not. Mm-hmm. Because people keep their mouth shut and shut out the whole.
Humbling for me means being teachable.
And you know what? I apologize. You're right. Because it's just shutting your mouth doesn't mean that you're teachable.
Yeah.
You're right. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
But it took me humbling myself and understanding that it's a choice. You can't blame anything on anybody else except for yourself. Wow. I don't care if it's God plan, demon plan, you make that choice, go back and forth. Mm-hmm. It's something that starts to change. You do realize it's just that you don't know how to stop it. Mm-hmm. So.
And then searching for the answer. A lot of times we search here and there, far and wide. We searching for the answer to life. We searching for the truth in life. And guess what the truth and answer is?
Right in front of you.
Right in front of you. It's you. It's inside of you. All you gotta do is activate it. It doesn't come in one, and it's the main thing is whatever's on the left is on the right. This universe represents a balance. You understand what I'm saying? So if you leaning towards too much negativity, the outcome is gonna be it's gonna be negative aspect. It's gonna be a negative situation. It's not gonna get better. So you gotta just really just take time to say, you know what, I'm gonna focus on myself. I'm gonna take time out to figure this out. Because some of us are sicker than others. You know what I mean? Sick.
Yes.
Very sick. Emotionally sick. Spiritually sick. Sick in the mind. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, it's not, I'm not downgrading being sick in the mind, but when your soul is sick, it's deeper than that.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
And a lot of people's is past their mind. Yeah. Their souls are gone. I'm even being out here now, I heard it. I've seen more just is zombies, you know what I mean? And they're only zombies to their own creation.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's past anything. Like it's like you're already incarcerated.
So who would you say, who would be to blame for all of this? Even though we say the government, we say how we were taught, all the lies that we're taught, but who would actually be to blame for your life being in the shambles that it is?
I'm going to answer that for myself. I'm to blame. Because I chose to put myself in this position. Mm-hmm. But I don't look at it as a check on my shoulder or a hindrance, because my past situations paved the way for my future situations. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The person I am today, I would hate not to be me.
Exactly.
So I appreciate what I went through in life.
Yeah. I definitely too. You know what I'm saying? Anytime when I spent in the penitentiary, and I looked at it as time lost when I first went through it. My whole 20s, and I even developed rage in my heart when I was in prison. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so mad that I was in there, and I still was indulging in situations of bad behavior while I was in there. But when I got out, you know what I'm saying, and I realized that I made it through that obstacle in my life.
How long you was in prison?
13 and a half years.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
as I made it through that, man, I realized that, it made me a better person. Even though I went through hell situation, it made me a better person, made me a stronger person. And I only 19 that I was.
You know what's crazy? I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
In a situation of being incarcerated, you gotta look at one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You were forced to be on demon time.
Exactly.
But for you to be able to transition the way you transition, you gotta give yourself a heads up.
Exactly.
Because you spent 13 years, I'm not gonna say the whole 13 years, but a majority, a quarter of your life, a third, on defense.
On defense, man.
It's
It's definitely a different world in there.
Come home.
You got stories.
It just gives you an example. You came home and jumped right on God's plan.
God's
from
plan.
demon plan.
And let's talk about God's plan.
But see what I'm saying? Which one is stronger?
Wow. That's
Think of the scenario. Which one is stronger? 13 years on defense, and it took you one day.
God's plan, man. It's God's plan. And God's plan is God's plan. In my life, in your life, everybody, God's plan is the only way to go, man. You know what I'm saying? And when you're able to fellowship with the Almighty, the Creator, and He able to show you things. And I say first thing I say fellowship. When I say fellowship, it's getting to be on a personal level with Him and understanding what He has planned for you. You know what I'm saying? It's just a beautiful thing because when the challenges come, you be able to embrace the challenges. You know what I'm saying? You know that the armor of protection is upon you. You know what I'm saying? When you're able to walk outside the door, your day is planned, and you already know He's navigating you. He's taking you in the right direction.
But it's hard. You say you already know. A lot of people can't recognize it.
Yeah, it's definitely.
You know what I mean?
It's a process. It's a process.
But then again, you gotta understand.
It's a process.
When you say God's plan,
Yeah.
if you can't, I'm gonna say it again. If you can't identify with that one word, or with the Creator, God, then understand faith. You know what I mean? It's just as long as you have faith and understand that everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
That's a plan.
Yeah.
Demon time is gonna be demon time.
And I just take it to the situation, not to cut you off, brother. When I was in the hospital, and this was a result from me using drugs, right? And me take away from my self-value, I allowed myself to go out like this. All because of the decisions that I was making, the choices I was making, people that I was hanging around with, the things that I was doing, I was engaging in self-medicating myself to the point where my heart was not working. And it got to the point where I started to swell up so bad that 5% of my heart was working. I had fluid on my heart, right? And so my valves, like one was working regularly and the other one was just like this. So it was getting ready to be a matter of time that I was going to be just taken up out of here, right? And it just so happened that even on my deathbed, you understand what I'm saying? When I was on my deathbed, I was seeing visions. I was seeing places that I didn't even realize where this place was. Come to find out, it was California. And that's what's so crazy about it. That's another story. But at the same time, being who I am, I have a gift to where if I walk in a room full of people, I'm able to, I can discern spirits, I can discern energy, I can discern if somebody's having a bad day or if somebody's dealing with something and it's an emotional problem, I'm able to tap into it. And it's crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Your soul is pure.
And I don't even know how to explain it, bro.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
It's disbelief.
And I'm able to talk into that person's life and hey, everything's going to be all right, and try to, help them adjust their day. But me being in that hospital, I was feeling the energy off of the doctors and the nurses that were coming in there. I don't know if they had good hands or bad hands, you know what I'm saying? And it was crazy, man. And I was feeling all that stuff, but it was because you got to think about it. Where do you think a demon will hang out at?
Where death, where people are hurt.
Hospital,
wow.
nursing homes.
That's crazy.
Places like that, you know what I'm saying?
Fear, sorrow, pain.
Yes,
right?
man. And there was a lot of demonic situations. I seen it, literally seen it. And I can't really explain to you. That'll be another topic, another day that we would talk about it. But I'm just not gonna sit here and lie to you. Like, this is right hand to God. Like, I can talk about certain things supernatural that I've been through and I know God is real, I'm a walking miracle because, like I say, a miracle because I had 5% of my heart working, and I'm here now today, sitting here talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? It is a testament of my faith that I have to share the love of God with everyone. That's my duty. You know what I'm saying? Whether whatever you look at it, your higher power, whatever you look at it, I look at it. God, that created all things. He created everything. So I'm putting that out there. But Demon Time, God's plan. Once I started to get myself in order, and I was able to take time out for myself, and I went through, the program at Higher Vision, and I was able to find out about me, what my shortcomings was, things I dealt with. I dealt with anger issues, domestic issues, a lot of things that ego, conceitedness. I was conceited, had pride, a lot of pride in my heart. A lot of things that I had to tone down, you know what I mean? I had to get in control of. PTSD, had issues with that. That's from prison, anxiety, stress issues. Things that womanizer, took advantage a lot of times. I'm not proud of a lot of things that I've been through, but I just thank God I was able to sit here and talk to y'all and let y'all know that I've been delivered from a lot of these things. And this is a vulnerable situation, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to speak the truth and to let you viewers know that if God brought me from where He brought me from, and He's picked me up out of the mud, and I'm able to transition into the best version of Saul at this moment. And I'm still climbing the stairs even higher and higher. More research, more knowledge. I'm always ready to help the next individual as best as I can. You know what I mean? What about you with your God's plan? You realize that God was showing His light in your life.
It's crazy. My plan, I'm living it.
Yes.
I got to a point where I have accepted everything my Creator has given me, and has or is future given me.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, I just look at it as I want my days to be fulfilled, happy, blessed, and just try to make a difference. You know what I mean? I fall short. I'm not perfect, but you know what? Nobody is.
Nobody's perfect.
All you have to do is just reach for perfection.
And every day that you wake up, you know what I mean, and you deal with people, and like I say, it's something that we go about our day, and it's happened to be that we make somebody mad, we piss somebody off, right, or whatever the case might be. The good thing about you understanding who you are is you're able to adjust that. And if you made somebody mad and you made them upset, then you're able to go back and say, ask for forgiveness. You always want to stay in that mode of keeping your side of the street clean. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is with that is you always look to see, hey, if I'm the problem, if you always keep yourself in that mode of saying, hey, if I'm the problem, let me find out what did I do wrong instead of what Derek did wrong, right? Or point your fingers. Yeah, take your own inventory. You always able to stop and think about that and readjust the way you look at things, the way you think about things. The cognitive distortion will go away. You know what I'm saying? The psychosis will, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff will go away, man. Because I got cognitive distortion real bad, man. When I was in my drug addiction, I had cognitive distortion real bad. Psychosis real bad.
And that's scary.
And it's scary, man.
Especially for your spouse. If
you're
with somebody
yes.
and they don't understand what's happening to you,
yes.
It's scary.
And the statistics say in black men is a high rate, especially if you're dealing with methamphetamine, psychosis in our culture, in our background.
If you hear her start giggling in between your legs, you know what to do.
Definitely.
So, and it's crazy thing. I associate love with a transition from God's plan to kingdom. Because love is a God nature, but it can drug-induce, become something very demonic.
Mm-hmm.
Especially methamphetamine, PCP.
Soul ties. That's called soul ties.
I never heard
That's
that.
called soul ties, man.
Don't discredit Soul Train with anything that you're talking about. I don't know, any soul
ties. Yeah, that's when you unequally yoke with an individual. Well, I'm not say unequally yoke. At that moment in time, you think this person is the person for you, and you both are on drugs really bad. And it's like, you ever heard of dope love? You never heard of dope love?
I've never been to Oklahoma. I don't know what you're talking about. It's gotta be some.
Okay, when it say double love, say soul ties. When it say this, when you giving yourself to an individual and y'all both is in a toxic, y'all not married, this all this going on, and all of a sudden you say, you know what? In your mind, you could always think she's cheating. In her mind, she's thinking she's doing the most or whatever.
That sounds like a typical polyamorous relationship.
It's toxic, man. It's very toxic.
But it's okay.
It's like
it is.
huh?
But that's what I say about love and its stronghold.
Yeah.
It becomes to some people with a strong, or I'll just
It's a
say
strong
weak
emotion,
mind.
man. It's a very strong emotion.
So, and a lot of people don't understand true value of
A
love.
lot of people using that
But
word
that's
love.
another topic.
A lot of people using that word love and really don't understand
Why
what
does it
love
gotta be a
is.
black thing? Why
And
does it gotta be black?
I never said it was a black thing. I said
You said black people.
I didn't say that. I said a lot of people using the word love. No,
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn.
I said black people black men that deal with psychosis when they use methamphetamine.
You know what's crazy? For a nationality to be able to call anybody a brother, I think they love everybody.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah, I definitely do.
But I don't know.
But you know what I'm saying? All love is most love that is sought and brought in our on our terminology and on our terms has most of the time it's with a condition. It's with a condition. Unconditional love, you know, unconditional love, a person that like your mother's love or your grandmother's love, like you say, you know what I'm saying? That's unconditional love. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find certain situations.
I would say nowadays that is hard to find.
Yeah, it's rare.
There's no real family values.
Unconditional, and that's another thing too.
We
You
just
think
going
about
into
the
all
family,
types of topics here. We got other. Let's jump back to the topic at hand.
Yeah, let's get back
That's
to
actually
God's
good.
plan. Yeah, that's good
topic
though.
for next time, actually.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. For family oriented type situation, man. A lot of times we look into the falsified situation, man, and a lot of times we fall short to money, drugs, women, different things in our life that the devil know we weak minded behind, and he bring that right in front of us.
But then again, demon time, it really represents the 7 deadly sins.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm just bringing it out in that term.
Yes.
That it's just another modern term for something that was established a long time.
Yes. And then either way it goes, like I said, I commend, I give shout out to everybody who has actually experienced demon time and was able to come up out of that, man, and was able to understand and discover their purpose in life, man, and realize God got a better plan for you. Because many of us have failed, and we in 6 feet under, we in prison, wherever the case might be. They didn't gave up on life, and because the simple fact is the choice and decision they made, and they were not able to, bounce out of that, man.
It's
I just
hard.
thank God,
It's hard. It's hard to pull yourself out when everything around you's crumbling.
Yeah, and then it also bases on how you grew up. You know what I mean? Like I said, with the family situation. If you had both your parents in your life, if you lost a parent, whatever the case may be, you had you didn't have no siblings or you did have siblings. It all depends on the trauma that you experienced as a childhood that made you just push yourself off into that type of lifestyle. Because you got women that sold themselves, and they were it's just a lot of topics that we really need to talk about.
Well, you know what? We have a beautiful platform. We have a way to reach out and touch somebody. It's just,
we just want
people need to listen.
We just thank all y'all for just being able to give us a little bit of y'all time today, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe this video, man, because this is for educational purposes.
And share.
And share it, man, because what I'm saying, we start from the bottom, listen, man, but our platform is just all straight positivity, man, and we're pushing it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking boundaries, man. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I'm Derek.
I'm Saul.
And we'll see you again.